Eric Zaccar's Stars on Broadway isn't just a play, it's a complete education. You'll learn about political trends.
In my day, White House interns were just there to take stenography and shorthand. When did they suddenly start providing all these other services to the president?
I want some of what all them other presidents seem to be getting these days.
Did you know that White House interns provide oral sex now?
Yeah, so?
The King of Siam had hundreds of wives, and that was just some diddly, squat little country in some backwoods time. Why shouldn't the leader of the greatest nation in the world, in the age of luxury and privilege, be allowed an occasional little indiscretion? If I had lived 1,000 years earlier, they never could have gotten me out of office without a revolution. Nobody ever tried to impeach Genghis Khan. I'd like to have been a ladybug on the wall for that one.
We don't have public executions anymore, and you didn't have them in your time either.
What would you call Julius and Ethel Rosenberg? Chopped liver? That wasn't meant as a pun on Jews. It just came out that way. Don't tell me, Jack. I mean, you didn't actually... I mean, your interns didn't give you,
My interns, my receptionists, the White House tour guides, the Smithsonian librarians, my manicurists, you name it.
Semantics.
Politically correct. Whoever taught you a hypocritical oxymoron like that?
I have to say blah blang now, because if I actually say blah blang, they'll put me back in the cage. And then I'll have to blast somebody's blah.
When I made that campaign speech about wanting every school child to be able to log on to the internet, I didn't imagine that they'd be able to download 600-page reports that chronicled every detail of my sex life.
Could we please try to refer to it as oral sex?
Why? Is that going to make it a different activity?
Oral sex is not nookie. The legal definition of that is very clear.
Sorry.
Why is it that I'm allowed to say heart attack, but I'm not allowed to talk about oral sex? I mean, a heart attack is probably one of the worst physical experiences that you could have. There is absolutely nothing positive about a heart attack. Nobody says to their friends, hey, I'm going to go out tonight to that pickup bar on the corner, have a few beers, and I hope I get a heart attack.
American history.
Even George Washington didn't tell the truth about that one. I cannot tell a lie. I chopped down the cherry tree, and when it fell, it shattered all over me, including on my schlong. I swear to you, Martha, those splinters are not from some woman's wooden teeth.
If the president is the recipient of oral pleasures from a lady, is this an impeachable offense?
Have you taken leave of your senses?
Hardly.
Tell me then, what fool of a man would possibly seek the presidency if that regulation were in force?
Vocabulary.
And as we all know, a harmonica is a musical instrument, generally between 4 and 10 inches long and roughly around 3 inches in diameter, that we play with our mouths. Now, the word monica is going to mean something similar, but slightly different.
You'd think there was some kind of committee sitting around in the Stone Age inventing the English language, deciding which words were good and which words were bad. What you call when men go at you? I don't know. How about sneeze? Sneeze good, good word. How about when men go chomp chomp on food and mouth? Call that chew. Chew, good word. How about when girl put man's penis in her mouth? Blowjob. No, bad word. Don't say that word. Oh, no.
Integrity.
And you'll answer them with the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
If I don't, let the gods come down and cut my tongue out so I can never commit perjury or suck anybody's dick again.
And between Filegate and Travelgate and Whitewater Gate and all those other gates out there, the only tangible thing that you've been able to come up with is that he got a little extracurricular hoo-ha from a gal who, ironically enough, lived in, of all places, the Watergate Hotel. If that doesn't prove that Clinton is the most honest and unscathed politician that ever existed, I don't know what does. Oh, Hillary, I told the truth. You saw where it got us.
Well, that's because you told a truth that directly contradicted your other truth.
I made it to the highest office in the land without lying, cheating, conniving, or any other kind of underhanded shenanigans, and I am proud of it.
No, you didn't lie or cheat. You just roasted 100,000 innocent people.
No, I never lied about that one. Getting oral sex was probably one of the few things I wasn't guilty of.
Human relations.
You have to keep them satisfied. Then they'll be quiet. My motto with the ladies has always been, ask not what your cunt can do for you. Ask what you can do for your cunt.
I don't get it, Jack.
In other words, when the milkman stops making deliveries, we're forced to drink what's in our own refrigerators.
Well, you know I always drank my milk at home, even when it was sour. Now, you gave women oral sex, Jack. Now, how'd you do that? I mean, they don't even have doodahs that you can put in your mouth.
Nixon, you're a hopeless case.
Morality.
You never cheated on your wife, even at a bachelor party or if you were drunk at 3 in the morning and a woman came on a little bit.
Of course I have not. To do so would be morally wrong.
Yeah, but it would just be a little morally wrong.
I don't damn people because of their sexual habits here. This isn't the House Judiciary Committee.
I mean, if people had spent all that time and money trying to dig up something to smear me with, could you imagine what they would have found? Even my little dog Checkers was spotted.
Conspiracy theories.
You promised them that if they got Kennedy out of the picture, you'd give them the war that they wanted. And you didn't give a shit how many innocent people you had to pawn off to do it.
Who's this peckerhead think he is anyway, Oliver Stone? I was assassinated because I was too powerful, and they couldn't control me. If they had realized that they could bring me down by making scandals out of every extramarital affair that I ever had, there would have never been a reason to have me killed now, would there?
60,000 pages. They wrote about a dozen little 10-minute flings that I had. It is not to be believed. If you put together every pornographic magazine that was ever published since the beginning of time, they wouldn't add up to 60,000 pages. Although I'd like to be there when they try to put that magazine together, just browse through a couple thousand pages.
My sole objective has always been to find some crime that you were guilty of, no matter how hard I had to look, how much money I had to spend, how many innocent lives I had to destroy, and how many constitutional rules I had to break.
And the total cost to the taxpayer was?
Probably more than the annual education budget of the state of Alabama.
Weapons of mass destruction.
I'm simply an instrument of the government doing a job that requires doing.
Yeah. Nuclear bombs are instruments of the government, too, and so are sewage dumps.
Lingering nuclear fallout. That is a new slapper.
What would you say is a lot morally wrong? Genocide?
Actually, I was thinking more about something like the war in Vietnam. That was a lot morally wrong.
And evading the draft?
That was a little morally wrong.
I did not blow up a building. I blew the president.
Paranoia.
There's a lot to be said for unfounded suspicion and irrational distrust. If you'd spent more time looking over your shoulder and less time looking at the top of some young concubine's head, you might not be here right now. It's a lot easier to hide paranoia than it is to conceal a perpetual erection.
If you were to trip your friend and you might call her up and say, "Where did you get that Lewinsky? Have you been Monicaing my husband's Willie?" And if she denies it, you might want to star her or star 69 her until she comes clean.
And how would you view something like smoking marijuana?
That's a little morally wrong.
I suppose if you had inhaled, that would have been a lot morally wrong.
Economics.
What if there were 1 million hungry children on this planet? Then statistics would prove that every single one of them could have been provided with 3 hearty meals a day, every single day, for over a year. With the money that my committee used to find out that the president got a blowjob.
The afterlife.
You mean that after I die, I'll be able to remember the name of that receptionist that I met on the boardwalk in Atlantic City?
Live fast, die young, leave a good-looking picture in the history books. If you had your choice, would you rather be remembered as John Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, or Ted Kennedy? I joined the Army when I was 30, had my first child when I was 40, got elected vice president when I was 62. Why shouldn't I start having fun with the ladies 25 years after I kicked the bucket?
Personal hygiene.
You had a manicurist, Jack?
I had many a manicurist, Nixon. You don't think I'd let my constituents see all the dirt under my nails the way that you always did?
Don't let them see you sweat. After all, they might decide that sweating's an impeachable offense. They'll start another investigation and spend hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars trying to test the DNA from the perspiration in my boxer shorts.
On one occasion, the president inserted a cigar into Ms. Lewinsky's vagina, then put the cigar in his mouth and said, "It tastes good." This has been an excerpt from the official Starr report.
Please visit our multimedia website and find out how you can help to put Eric Zaccar's Stars on Broadway.
Mr. Cellophane could have been my name.
Little Willie Willie won't go home.
Oh, shine on me in the morning, shine on me. With the light in the lighthouse, shine on me.
You, my friend, are going to go down in history as the president who got his blah blah